Training camp is over. It is time for our annual training camp awards. And Adam Jahns is here for the entire show. CHGO Bears starts right now. Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast. We got a good one for you today on what is a travel day for the Chicago Bears as they head to Kansas City for their preseason finale. But yesterday was sort of unofficially, officially the last training camp practice. So we thought we'd bring our training camp awards to you today. Adam Hoge, Mark Carman, Greg Rags Jr. with you, and Adam Jahns in studio.
Yeah.
He found it.
Yeah.
He found it. We were worried that he wouldn't be able to find it, but he found it.
I just walked in like 5 minutes ago. Let's do this.
It's
great to be here.
You've had early great presence today. Saw you in the office with a Kevin Kadek having a high-level meeting that I've never been involved in, and then the next. I mean, it's impressive stuff already. Out of the gates.
Take out the trash. That's your job.
That's
here.
correct. I do.
How has this place survived recently, actually, with you not being in studio that much?
I've been coming down. You just haven't known.
Every day you come in and empty the trash.
Not every day, but every 3 days just to make sure everything's good. I polish the floors, whatnot. Got to make sure that my people are ready to go.
Well, hey, so you are good at being the director of garbage. Hey,
thank you.
CHGO training camp coverage, as always, sponsored by Ray Auto. Go check out the new vehicles in store at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This is your chance to score a great deal at the Labor Day sales event. Head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 today to choose from their huge inventory of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. All right. Let's get into it. We came up with, what do we got, 5 awards, I think it is? I think so.
When you say we, I mean, you really were the driver on this one, Hoge, as
right.
You tend to be in these things.
Well, it is my job to come up with the rundown every day, yes.
Yeah, but, okay. But it's still, this is a very specific Hoge. You were sitting up at, 10 o'clock last night and just popped in your head?
No, I did all this on the train this morning.
On the train this morning?
Because he asked me last night if I had any topics for him. And I said, no, my brain hurts.
And he said he'd do it on the train.
And I did it on the train.
See, that's where the Metro just comes through, man. You just you have a
Great
nice, peaceful
space.
ride, and then boom. Look,
right.
Show just...
Because we were up late last night finishing our 53-man projection, which, by the way, is up for diehards right now at ALLCITY.com. So go check that out. There's a couple of interesting moves on there we made.
Become a diehard.
Yeah.
$36. Let's go.
So we got 5 awards for you. We got the MVP. It's a very revolutionary award. No one's ever thought about giving out an MVP before. Training camp, most valuable player, most improved player of camp. We have the I wasn't familiar with your game Newcomer award, which is a fun one. Rookie MVP. And then my personal favorite, the Sanzenbacher Gentry UDFA award.
I like that.
That was a good one.
Yeah. That one we might actually give out an actual trophy for. So we'll get into it. We'll talk MVP first. So this just apply. I mean, this really is very simple. Who had the most impressive training camp on the entire roster? Your nominees for this award.
We got nominees.
We got 5 nominees.
It's like the Academy Awards. The CHGOs, the CHGO Bears.
We should come up with that.
I mean, that's probably been done before by some
Gonna
major
need a trophy,
company.
though, a little something.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we could give up the softball trophy, donate that. Still here.
Well, it sounds like you are going to be giving that up based on the reports I've heard.
No, we'll win. There's a bunch of losers out there. They can't.
I told you should have quit while you were ahead. You should have gone out like Jordan and said, you came back. You tried to be the Wizards.
Well, Jordan 3 in a row, then he left.
Well, that's what we're
true,
gonna
but
do.
I knew 3 wasn't coming based on what I was hearing out there. So, okay. Your MVP nominations from training camp are Olamide Zaccheaus, Joe Tooney, Rome Odunze, Grady Jarrett, and safety Jaquan Brisker. Those are your nominees.
Dun, 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 dun.
We voted on this, and we are going to have a discussion because it wasn't unanimous. But the winner was, with the most votes, wide receiver Olamide Zaccheaus, the MVP of camp. Who saw that coming?
No one saw this coming. 1-year deal for OZ, as he's known at Hallis Hall. And really, like an unofficial tally of receptions in camp, I think by far he's got the most. Maybe Roma Dunze, a distant second, but I felt like every day we were marking down number 14 with receptions from Caleb Williams, maybe a couple from Carm's guy Tyson Bagent, but they've added up. I mean, the other day at practice, Olamide Zaccheaus was your leading receiver again.
I've written them down every day as like, the top 3 takeaways. Well, Olamide Zaccheaus had another great day, so I no argument for me. But I would, as far as on the field, I would say I actually gave my vote, just thinking about it, to Grady Jarrett, because the mentality that the Bears are looking to transform into, the winning veteran, that guy every single day coming out there and just playing, as far as I could tell, as hard as he possibly could, and then his overall leadership, bringing guys together on the defensive line. Again, he's not going to match up production-wise anywhere. It's going to be impossible for any defensive player to do it. But just from a culture standpoint and an impact, looking at that list, it made me want to go Grady Jarrett.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
I mean, OZ certainly makes a lot of sense. I mean, Zaccheaus has just shown out every single day, also in the joint practices, also in the preseason game. You know, he's had the Bills end of joint practice touchdown, and then he started the preseason game with basically the exact same touchdown. So, but I also think that it peeks behind the curtain of really what we can expect from a Ben Johnson offense, because we have been so enamored with the 12 personnel and the 2 tight end set usage that Ben Johnson is going to utilize in this offense. But I definitely think we need to take a longer look at how he uses the slot receiver in this offense, because you've seen on first and second team Olamide Zaccheaus and Luther Burden with Tyson Bagent consistently balling out every single day. Consistently, not just balling out, being wide open across the middle. So I think that is something, when you look at what the Lions did and their 70 touchdowns, high-octane offense, now you put in Zaccheaus and Luther Burden. We're going to find out if this personnel has a higher talent level than what Detroit had, but I would say from a slot position wide receiver and second tight end, like, they're kind of ahead of what the Lions had, even if you want to say the Lions' top-end talent is higher at this point in terms of what their resume shows.
So I'm glad we're doing nominations here, too, so we can shout out some of the other guys that have had good camps. And so Roma Dunze gets nominated. He came out really strong last week. He probably, maybe you would say, showed the most upside, I guess, in terms of growth and what he can be in this offense. But OZ was more consistent, I think, throughout camp, and certainly got the bulk of the targets. I agree with you, Jahns. Jaquan Brisker deserves a shout-out, too.
1,000%.
Because, he's bringing the energy every day. His teammates keep praising him for that. I think it does have an important effect. The stats actually show the defense is much better when he's out there, so you hope he can stay out there, and so far, so good. He's been out there. He looks phenomenal. This is a secondary that hasn't had Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson out there for a lot of camp, and he's held it on the back end. So I definitely think that he deserves to be a nomination. I think, though,
if you were doing offensive MVP and then defensive MVP, then
Yeah.
I would personally give it to Jaquan Brisker.
I'd vote Brisker too.
Yeah. Now, I did vote for OZ, but I think the only one that actually could threaten him for this is, and he plays the offensive line, so he's just not going to get as much of attention. But Joe Thuney has just been out there every single day dominating dudes constantly. That's just what he does. And then it was cool to see him briefly featured in Hard Knocks. I don't know if you guys saw that clip where Ed Oliver's trying to rush him, and he's just like flabbergasted, like at his technique and everything. He's just like a stone wall. So honestly, I bet you if you polled the coaches on who's been more consistent throughout camp, they'd probably say Joe Thuney has been the most consistent guy every single day. So I think there's a strong argument that he might actually be the MVP of camp, but with OZ playing wide receiver, certainly understandable why he's getting the award.
He makes the what he does great looks so easy that you kind of undersell it. Like even in that clip with Ed Oliver where he's stonewalling him, like even Ed Oliver said to him, he's like, man, you're so deceiving. And then he stops mid-sentence as he's saying it because I think Ed Oliver even acknowledged in that moment that's disrespectful to say to Joe Thuney because it's not deceiving. He's just dominating you, but he does make it look so simple. And so I was joking with a friend about Joe Thuney. I'm like, if we hadn't had a breaking news show about him joining the Bears, I wouldn't have been able to tell you he was out there just simply because you just don't call his name out because he just does his job day in and day out. I'm not trying to say he hasn't stood out, like you said, MVP caliber, but everybody's always watching the ball at camp anyway. You don't watch the trenches, but it is like kind of funny how underlooked he is just from that standpoint.
To go back to Brisker, I would argue that he was the Bears' best defender from start to finish in camp. At one point, I thought it was Kyler Gordon, especially with Jalen Johnson out. And there were some other candidates. Grady Jarrett was good. Montez Sweat was fantastic, especially in the early going. Gervon Dexter, we're going to talk about him here in a little bit, but he's been outstanding as well. But from start to finish, especially with Gordon getting hurt and Jalen Johnson already being out, he's been electric. He's been all over the field. In the joint practices, you heard and you saw Jaquan Brisker making plays. He was all over the Dolphins, and he was all over the Bills. He's had a fantastic camp. So he was my runner-up in this. I know Joe Thuney doesn't maybe get enough love just because of how consistently good he is, but in my voting, it was OZ then Brisker.
I'm fairly embarrassed to say that what I've noticed in camp are the quarterbacks and the wide receivers. I mean, basically. Like, Joe Thuney, haven't thought about him once. I mean, I haven't. If I'm being honest,
that's a good thing, though.
I literally have not even a second, an ounce of a second of anything of a thought. Now I have paid attention to the left tackle spot,
but that's the point, right?
Yeah.
You haven't really talked about Drew Dalman, Jonah Jackson, or Joe Thuney, but you have noticed the tackles.
But it's not even true though. With Drew Dalman, I have noticed him because he's had trouble snapping the football at times, or just firing lasers. So I'm like, that's a little interesting right there. But with Thuney, never have had a thought. With Brisker, it's interesting that you said he had such a great camp because he wasn't like he had a ton of picks. I heard him all the time, every single day, and I appreciate it.
Didn't he pick off Josh Allen last week?
He did.
Picked off Tua.
I missed that.
He picked off
Tua, and he picked off Josh Allen.
And he got Tua too.
Yeah.
And he had a couple hits against the Dolphins as well, filling the alley.
Which one of you guys was pushing against me on Joe Thuney over the summer again? I blacked out.
I didn't push against you. I did not push against you. What I pushed against, it was a very nuanced push.
Nuanced push?
Which it's a
That's a different push.
Well, it's because some people, not you, Hoge, but some people, they act like they're offensive line experts.
Oh, I'm not an offensive line expert.
It's just not something. I'm not going to fault you for it. It's not something at camp that the trenches are hard to evaluate because they're not.
You're supposed to be trench drunk.
I know. I was for the personnel
until camp started.
Yeah, then
you're like,
you just watch the ball. I have tried so hard to reteach myself how to watch the game. Even on TV, like the real football evaluators will say, watch the trenches first. Don't watch the ball. I just can't. It's when I'm at camp, you watch the quarterbacks, you watch the wide receivers, you watch the football. So you miss a lot of. People ask, well, what happened? Who got through? Well, there's so much going on. You can only track so much. So, admittedly, it's just one of those things, I think, from a human nature standpoint, that you watch the ball probably more than you should.
You're not a position coach. That's what position coaches do. They focus on their position during every single snap. They're not watching the ball. So, I get it. We're all, even myself, 12 years doing this, watching the game. Yeah, you might pay attention if there's a position battle you want to see up front, but it's always the ball for me.
Yeah.
May 6th, because you can't hear Steven today. We don't have enough mics. May 6th,
what did I
Carm said that Montez Sweat would be better than Thuney.
I like that take by me. It's a good take.
Actually, let me be very clear. I hope you're right about that take.
Yeah.
That would be very, very, very good for the Bears.
I will say to that brilliant thought on May 6th, after what I've seen all of training camp, I'm not sure if I had to put money down on that, I don't think I would make it. But I think it's been a pretty good camp for Montez.
Yeah, he's been good.
All right, we got 4 more awards to go. We're going to take a quick timeout, come back, and talk about the most improved player of camp. And I saw in the comments there was a couple questions about whether or not a player can be nominated in multiple categories. Yes, they can be. So we'll see if some other names come up more than once. But first, we take a timeout.
Shout out to our friends at Bet365. They've got the 365 early payout offer. You're a winner if your team goes up by 17 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. That's right. When the Bears go up 17 on the Vikings opening night, you get paid. Download the app and use the code CHGO365 when you sign up. 100% parlay boost. Double your winnings on parlays with Bet365's 100% parlay boost. Download the app. Use that code CHGO365 when you sign up. And breaking news from Bet365, playoff season is here. New customers, you now get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5 win or lose. Sign up, use the code CHGO365, deposit 10, bet 5. You get $200 in bonus bets. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER in-app only.
Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric has been serving Chicagoland for over 50 years. Now is the time to get your AC checked out. Four Seasons experts are ready to help you with AC installation, maintenance, and repair. Four Seasons expert technicians ensure that you always receive reliable service. And Four Seasons, they're not charging you more for service during nights, weekends, and holidays. So keep that in mind. Schedule your Four Seasons AC tune-up today, and you could save $50 and enjoy a 1-year no-breakdown guarantee. Plus, if you need a new comfort system, you could save up to $4,000 right now on new comfort systems with Four Seasons, and that includes AC furnace combos as we get closer to fall. So your trusted local experts are Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money savings coupons. That's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com. And speaking of Four Seasons, it is time to take the temp. And today we are going to take the temp on who's heated up the most in training camp. Another way of saying who improved the most during training camp. Taking the temp is brought to you by your trusted local experts at Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com. So your nominees for the most improved player of training camp are Gervon Dexter Sr., Theo Benedette, the Canadian Eagle, not the bald eagle, as Carm keeps calling him.
Why are you calling him the bald eagle?
I like because aren't there bald eagles in Canada? Don't they like to fly up there?
They
So
do.
there you go. He's a bald Canadian eagle.
Because where he got the Canadian Eagle, a nickname from, I probably wouldn't call him the
That's
bald
why I'm
eagle.
Did I really call him the bald eagle?
Unless you
multiple times.
Unless you have other information.
The
we're not
Canadian
aware of.
eagle, the bald eagle.
Yes.
Sources say.
That's not great. I apologize to the Canadian Eagle. Way to go, Theo. I didn't vote for you either on this, not to spoiler alert.
Three other nominees: linebacker Noah Sewell, defensive end Austin Booker, actually we have four other nominees. Ryan Bates makes this list, and I want to talk about that and why he's a nominee. Might surprise some people. And thrown in here, actually forced in here because someone voted, I guess it was a write-in vote because he wasn't a nominee, Tyson Bagent. And it's not who you think it is.
Yeah.
How about that for a little teaser, believe it or not? So those are 6 nominees for most improved. I guess it's a good sign for the Bears that 6 players deserved a nomination, meaning they were getting better. But your winner is Gervon Dexter, most improved player of camp, which is who I voted for. And I want to give him his flowers because I think it's been misconstrued at time that I've been a little hard on him when really I'm just been trying to make the point that I really just didn't think he was a great fit for the previous scheme. And I was optimistic that what we're seeing right now would happen with a scheme that I think fits him a lot better, with him also obviously getting better as a player too. Let's give him the credit for putting the work in. There's no question that he's got the drive and the love of the game and all that. So I think this could all come together to be a really big season for him. I was briefly scared to death at practice yesterday when he got banged up and walked to the locker room. Unfortunately, he returned with his helmet, so I'll have to continue to monitor that. But I think he's going to be a huge, important part of this defense, and it's been really, really good to see him improve as much as he has in camp. I think it's a major story for this defense.
This is a great list because you can make strong arguments for Benedict. You can make strong arguments for Sewell, who's been on this roster for 3 years now, and this is the best we've ever seen him play. This is the most we've ever seen him play because he's been dealing with various injuries, at least in his first couple of years. But to me, like, I'll go back to that moment where Gervon Dexter was down on the ground, and you saw his teammates go up to him, which raises all sorts of red flags. Like, this is not good. He must be in a lot of pain. His teammates are coming up there to console him. So it was good news that he came back. But I remember in those moments, like, my thought right there is like, oh, no, this is a huge loss because this is a significant piece on your defensive line, which is pretty thin already. And he was coming on. Like, he was having an outstanding training camp again. He was in the backfield a lot. He was battling with Joe Tooney. He was giving Jonah Jackson all sorts of problems. He's been one of the Bears' best players on defense. You've seen it a lot throughout camp. So to see him on the ground was alarming for the Bears. So to see him come back, it's good news. He's been that good.
Go ahead, Gregory.
Yeah, I'm the surprise write-in vote of Tyson Bagent, most improved player. And I think my reasoning for this is I was in our group chat this morning while we were kind of discussing the candidates for each person, or nominees, I should say. I thought Tyson Bagent deserved to be in the training camp MVP conversation for how as well as he's played. I just wanted to keep it a secret from Carm this whole time. But he has been impressive. He has. And you hear the coaching staff talk about how he knows the playbook front and back, and Ryan Pohl says he's the hardest working player on the team. Well, you see that when you go to training camp. You see the athleticism stands out, but you see how organized he is. You see the way he, has command of the huddle and, has just fired bullets all over the field, at all three levels. And I think a lot of times, for fans in especially in his rookie year, arm strength was a concern. I don't really think there is any concern right now. I know you want to see what he could do with the first team if it ever came to that to get a full picture. But I'm telling you, this guy has just taken a huge step, even from last year to this year under Ben Johnson, and the way he's just commanding things and looks like not just a savvy veteran backup quarterback, but somebody that could potentially be a starting quarterback in this league. Well, if you're going to put him in the training camp MVP nomination category potentially, then he deserves to be in the most improved. I think it's just by nature.
You could just keep going and going. It was so beautiful. I really enjoyed every minute of that. However, I do think and I think he has had a big time step forward, but I already had him up there, so that's why I would consider him for this category. I would consider Noah Sewell, who I thought was dead and was never going to play a game for the Bears. And the same thing with Theo Benedict. This is a tough call because Theo has come a long, long way. But Noah looks like he's going to be the starter. And this guy was behind Sanborn and behind everybody. He couldn't even see the field. So for me, that's why I went with Noah Sewell, because, wow, it's a key component that they're going to use that, TJ Edwards talked about. We need a physical linebacker to play alongside, be the third guy, be the Sam, and it looks like he's going to do it.
Sewell was my backup. Benedict, I guess where I got stuck, if we're overanalyzing him in this CHGO award, CHGO award, whatever you want to call it, maybe he was always good. Maybe he was good. Maybe this is his
we
story.
Just didn't know it.
Maybe this is his story last year.
It's possible.
At least with Noah Sewell, there was 2 training camps and different injuries, and you'd see him in the locker room all the time. He's been here before, so you're kind of your expectations go lower, lower, and lower because he hasn't played. But now he looks good. He looks like a starter on the strong side. With Benedict, the Canadian Eagle, maybe he was always good. He just suffered a bad injury last year.
Yeah, and I liked his perspective when we talked to him the other day. He's like, they didn't have film on me. It's like Dan Rochar came in the room and was like, we have to go watch a college film because we really just don't know.
Which makes you worried about the Benedict, whether or not he can stay healthy. Which, by the way, isn't Benedict bald? There's no hair on that head. Well, there you go. That's why I called him the bald
that's
eagle.
why you called it the bald eagle. We need to at some point have a discussion about how you thought there were no bald eagles in Canada.
I didn't say
like they just stop them at the border.
No,
I
didn't say there were no bald eagles. I said, aren't there bald eagles? That's why he's the bald eagle, the Canadian bald eagle. Okay. He's a Canadian bald eagle. He was born up there as a bald eagle with no hair. Benedict.
Well, most babies are bald when they're born. Not all, but
if you had to bet that Benedict can play or can't play, what's your bet?
Like right now?
Yeah,
I think he can play.
I think he can
play. It's just a matter of can he be an NFL left tackle? That's a different conversation.
That's what I'm asking. I mean, do you think he can play? Can he be a left tackle in the NFL?
Well, I think, he said it best himself, where he started to make the difference, where this is kind of an area you can't always see in training camp. This is where you need the film. Where he started to make the difference was in the run game.
Yeah.
We can't evaluate that because the play's over, but they have the film later, right? We're watching the ball. We're seeing who gets tackled, where it goes, and whatnot. But the blocks, they're on film. And I think it was the Canadian Eagle who was making more than Ozzie Trapello, and that's why that led to a change in the competition.
I do want to shout out Ryan Bates. Ryan, now, the only reason I didn't vote for him, but I do think he was nominated, is because is this just a product of him going back down to being a backup, which is maybe where he should be? But I do think that we need to at least give him credit for, A, staying healthy. I have not noticed that shoulder being an issue, okay? And B, we talked about it a little bit on our shows, but I don't know if it got enough attention overall in training camp. I know I went on a little rant a couple weeks ago, though, about how I was really worried about the backup center spot because Luke Newman, it just wasn't going well. The snapping wasn't good enough. And at that point, Doug Kramer got hurt, and Bates was primarily working at guard. And they made a little subtle shift in there that I think it took some people like almost a week to even notice. But all of a sudden, Bates became the backup center again, which was a little concerning because it looked like he couldn't play center before, even when he was healthy. And so that's why I think he deserves to be on this list because I'll say this, I feel a lot better today about the backup center spot than I did when I went on that little rant a week and a half ago or whatever it was. Because he's looked pretty good, both the games and practice filling in that role. The snaps have been way better, and as long as he stays healthy, I feel a lot better about him being able to be in that role. Now, the question is, does he stay healthy?
That's the $1 million question.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't been able to stay healthy, so it is still a huge concern.
But to my dead comment on Noah Sewell, Bates was dead too, and Bates has come alive. Like it's an alive Bates.
Yeah, for the record, all these people are alive and well.
They are, but they were dead in football terms. In Bears football terms, they were dead. Bates, I was like,
Carm terms.
Please cut him yesterday.
I'll help you out here, Carm. Okay. So when the Bears signed, they traded for Joe Thuney, they bring in Jonah Jackson, they signed Drew Dahlman. You're thinking that Ryan Poles is like one of his biggest acquisitions thus far, in the interior of the offensive line. Like, this is it for him. And you draft, Luke Newman. Like, this is it for Ryan Bates. He's on the bubble, but to Hoge's point, and to your point, he's come alive on the field.
Alive.
Like, he's playing well. He's playing with Tyson Bagent. We saw him at different rotations at right guard or left guard, depending if Joe Thuney or Jonah Jackson were getting a break. So for him, yes, he belongs on this list in terms of most improved.
Can we just for 1 second take a pause? What show are you doing?
I needed a minute to fill anyway, so I was going to do the same thing. What are you arguing?
Guy Finley will not shut up in the chat. It's been a week now. Shut up, Guy.
What is he?
Dude.
You guys do your thing.
Dude.
Guy won't shut up, and neither will Fishbane. Fishbane's in there, too.
I mean,
what are they coming at you about?
He keeps saying... He's been saying this all camp. Anytime we make a point about anything, he's like, well, I think the coaches know more than us. No kidding. Stop saying that.
I'm with you on that.
Jesus.
Although it's not always been the case.
Yeah, there's been a lot of coaches who've got a lot of things wrong.
There were some times last year where I'm pretty sure we
I guess I should have deferred to the coaches when they started Nate Davis at right guard last year. He's like, well, not those coaches. Okay, just let me know which coach is the question.
There's a certain former Bears linebacker that you do a show with who could give you some great stories on his linebacker coach under Mark Trestman. And who can tell you who knows football or not.
And Brick by Brick tonight with Lance Briggs and Jerry Zuma.
Hey, look at that.
What time's that dropping?
7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Central.
Nice. Yeah, I saw the reality spray when we got on set here.
Yeah, it's gonna start getting instituted into the show.
In this one?
No, in Brick by Brick.
Okay.
Briggs thinks he's always given a sense of reality, so we'll let him have some fun with it.
Okay. All right. We will take a break, come back with our next few awards. Next one on the list, I'm excited about the I Wasn't Familiar with Your Game Newcomer Award. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. But first, hey, whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, Branded Bills has you covered with performance and style. Just like that awesome Hoge & Jahns hat we got out right now with Branded Bills. If you're looking for some gear to make your brand stand apart from the crowd, Branded Bills has you covered with the best custom headwear. Start your order, and their dedicated team will help you create the exact custom apparel that you need. Right now, they have a partnership with 40 colleges, including 10 Big Ten schools. Remember when the Big Ten actually had 10 schools? As part of their campus collection, the Big Ten schools included Ohio State, Minnesota, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Maryland, Michigan State, Penn State, Purdue, and USC. Head to brandedbills.com. Use code BBCHGO. That code is BBCHGO. And you'll get 15% off your first order. Again, that's brandedbills.com.
And shout out to our friends at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake. They are slashing prices on new cars and giving you the big savings all month long. Come in today and shop the new car clearance event. That's sweet. Check out their selection of 125 vehicles priced under $20,000 with one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories. You are sure to find the perfect vehicle for you. And as one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, they're able to keep their prices competitive, so you know you are getting a great deal. It's the Ray Price Promise, too. Shop confidently because the price you see is the price you pay. Visit our partner at their convenient location on Route 12 in Fox Lake. And don't miss out on the new car clearance event going on all month long. Shop at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. Serving the community together since 1963. Together, let's drive. Shop Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or at raychevrolet.com. Beautiful ride today in the tracks.
Is that how you drive?
That is how I drive.
Yeah.
Sometimes, it's a little fun. Then you look out the window.
Should have taken the train today.
I should have. It was horrible driving in. But
What did you do, Jahns?
Took the Kennedy. 45 minutes. Not too bad.
Oh, that's not bad.
I got to
I already know you parked in my spot, so I don't need to ask you.
He drives.
All right.
Aaron Brewer for the Dolphins talking to the Miami media saying he talked about the Bears' fake tough guy practices with the Bears, saying that they were trying to be pretend physical. 2 weeks later, and Dolphins still talking about the Bears.
Pretend physical?
Yeah,
Fake tough guy
practices. Hey, man.
Put a name on it, Aaron Brewer.
Sounds like they're in their feelings about a practice from 2 weeks ago.
They still are on that?
They're
It's
still talking about it
unbelievable.
in Miami. It's crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like...
That's like red flag right there.
Right, I was going
Yeah.
to say, that sounds like loser team mentality stuff.
Yeah.
It's still a thing. All right. The next award, the I Wasn't Familiar with Your Game Newcomer Award. And your nominees are cornerback, nickelback, really, Nick McLeod, cornerback, Nahshon Wright, wide receiver, getting a second nomination here, Olamide Zaccheaus, and draft pick, guard Luke Newman. Those are your four nominees for this award. And your winner is Nahshon Wright, coming over from the Minnesota Vikings, has history with Al Harris from Dallas, where he was a third-round pick, and has really pushed Tyreek Stevenson hard for that starting cornerback job opposite of Jalen Johnson, to the point that I'd probably still give the nod to Stevenson, but I don't know that we have an answer yet.
Well, I think if you're looking at week one right now, like we haven't seen Jalen Johnson do much other than a pregame workout before the Bills game. So, like, is he healthy enough to play? How many snaps can he play? Like, where Where's he at football conditioning-wise? Wright's your starter. Stevenson and Wright are your starters in week 1 right now. And I think the Bears are okay with that. Like, Wright's been that competitive, that good in camp where he's giving Romadunze and DJ Moore problems. Against an offense that's trying to push the ball down the field. So I think he fits what Dennis Allen wants, and Dennis Allen's comfortable starting him in week 1 if he has to.
And this was a development that I had no idea was going to happen. Jalen getting hurt, but okay. So who's going to win that award? Nahshon Wright's winning this award, or is going to be the starter opposite? They might even bench Tyreek Stevenson. Mm-hmm. That's why I voted for him.
Like, how often do you see players with previous history working with the coaching staff come in and they're praised and the connection is overblown a bit and they do a bunch of nothing? Wright has been the opposite of that, where he's maintained his spot within that starting defense and he's made plays against Romadunze and DJ Moore.
Let's just say, for argument's sake, real fast, that Jalen's healthy week 1 and they choose Wright and Tyreek Stevenson is sitting on the bench. You think they lose Tyreek Stevenson in that scenario?
Like, you lose him mentally?
Yes.
I don't think so. Not with his coaching staff.
I mean, the
Why are you always trying to create stuff?
Yeah, actually,
doing that?
I'm gonna push. I'm actually gonna push back on you pretty hard on this one. That's not Tyreek Stevenson's problem. Tyreek Stevenson's problem is just staying focused.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, but it's not a motivational work hard, stay locked in to be the best player I can be on a big. What you're talking about is big picture. Like, I'm just going to check out from this team. That's not Tyreek Stevenson.
He did it. Did he not sort of or exactly do that in college, jumping from Georgia to Miami?
We don't know. What did you cover?
He left because he wasn't getting the playing time.
He was also 18, 19 years old,
That's
which we
fair.
forget too much doing this
right.
job. I don't think that that's an issue with Tyreek Stevenson. I think it continues to sort of sometimes, and we see it in practice, moving to the next play, staying focused on the task at hand, not getting caught up in extracurricular stuff. And it wouldn't shock me if that's still something that continues and maybe costs him playing time at some point. But I'm not worried about Tyreek Stevenson, the player, putting the work ethic in or dealing with a demotion.
It will be interesting to see what the decision is, though, week 1. I mean, to your point about Jalen Johnson maybe being on some sort of a snap count if he's not 100% for week 1 but able to go. But let's say he is 100%. It will be an interesting decision just based off of what we've seen at camp, because both guys have made plays, but in my opinion, Nahshon Wright has made more plays. And you've seen it at both joint practices stand out. He had the interception on Josh Allen in the second joint practice, and he is just, I mean, maybe I just like giving out too many MVPs, but he could have been your MVP.
Nahshon Wright?
In training camp. He has shown up every single day. And this is without Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson out there. I was most concerned when they said he wasn't going to be at training camp this year to start camp. I was like, man, who's going to challenge these wide receivers? How are we going to really test these guys and test this offense? And they've stood up to that test. And Nahshon Wright has a lot to do with that. So you see this physicality, you see the size, 6'3", gets his hands in traffic lanes. He has made plays all throughout, and then when you talk about making the decision between him or Tyreek, well, in both joint practices, you did have Ben Johnson say, there will be no fighting out here, and you're going to keep your focus or there will be consequences, and Tyreek Stevenson got in a fight in both training camp practices. They weren't huge fights, but he was involved. There was probably 3 fights in each practice, and he was involved in like 3 of them. So I don't know how much that has to do in terms of discipline, how much that is going to be levied in the discussion, but I think it's part of the evaluation.
I want to talk about some of these other guys that got nominated too. I don't think there's any question Nahshon Wright's been, the top of these guys, but Nick McLeod has really come on probably in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, as somebody who we knew had was I think he was one of these guys framed as, he can help on special teams when they signed him. But here he is, and honestly, he's pushed Josh Blackwell to be the number 2 slot corner, which is an important spot considering Kyler Gordon has dealt with injuries in the past, is dealing with an injury right now. And I think Blackwell's spot's fine on this team, obviously, too. He's too important on special teams. They just gave him an extension. But just the fact that McLeod came on as strong as he has, I think he makes his team. And I think that, speaking for myself, he was certainly somebody I was not familiar with enough, who has come on really strong. Same thing with these others. So
I keep calling him Nate McLeod. So, yes.
There you go.
He flashed in the middle of camp in a big way.
Greg's giving him a nomination for I didn't even know your name award.
Still working on it, Nick.
Nick and Nate. The only reason I didn't vote for OZ for this one is because I championed that signing at the time. I liked OZ a lot. I just didn't know he'd be the MVP at camp. Like, that's a whole different level where he surprised us. But I was fairly confident that even before they drafted Luther Burden that he was going to be a pretty good piece in this offense. And then Luke Newman.
How did he make the list exactly?
Why did Luke Newman make the list?
Yep.
Because he's your swing guard. He is.
You were at the Bag of Bonds when Luke Newman started to...
It was a missing Nabagaman formation
fair.
where Newman made the run?
Yeah,
Okay.
He's been on a run. Him and Theo.
He's on a run?
Carman's anti-Newman right now because he's got it pictured in his head, all those bad snaps from 2 or 3 weeks ago, and not understanding that that's not what they're asking him to do. It's amazing. I know we're all not used to this, Carm, and everybody, that there's actually coaching staffs that will adapt and realize when a player can't do something, they don't keep asking them to do it, and they put them in position to have more success. And all of a sudden now as the swing guard, he's looked really good.
Okay. Newman, my bad. You come on, Newman. Listen, I don't have anything against Luke Newman, but we're talking about, starting cornerback outside of Jalen Johnson, and somehow Newman slipped onto the same list here. I just don't,
He's just a nominee. He didn't win.
Okay.
Well, in regards to Newman,
I mean, Kanye's still getting nominated for stuff.
Newman, I think is going to be fine. He's does look a little tiny, but go ahead.
well, I think you're always just taking note of like when those starters get breaks, like who were the first players in, and Ryan Bates and Luke Newman. More often than not, were the first reserves coming in for
Newman
the starters.
started the other night with the starters.
He almost played the entire game. Did just fine.
Carm didn't see it.
He's a good Newman. He
was in the Bag of Bonds for that game too.
He was listen. My highlight with Newman was his initial press conference with the Bears when he was in the forest and hadn't showered for 3 weeks and just came on.
Weren't you just in a forest for a week without showering?
Yeah, but see, I was, and my first show back, by the way, on Tuesday, I looked like I had been to the forest. And you like, hey, let's do ads. I'm like, I'll be there in 5 minutes, and it was the greatest 5 minutes of all time. I mean, I went from absolutely horrendous bear look, Newman look, really, into a functional podcaster. But Newman has played well.
Insider.
Yeah, Newman has
Functional
played.
you are insider
I'm not
now.
trying to take anything away from Newman. I actually think the pick looks very solid, but I just thought it was a little bit too tall for Newman right here. But he's a good Newman.
Fair enough.
Newman.
We'll move on to the next award. This is your rookie MVP. 3 nominees for this one. Really no surprise. But your nominees are Colston Loveland, Luther Burden III, and Kyle Manungai. And this is where we tell you guys watching the show live, we need your help. Because Manungai got 2 votes. Luther Burden got 2 votes, because Steven was voting in this too, so he was the 5th vote. And Colston Loveland got 1. So we have a stalemate between Luther Burden and Kyle Manungai. So Steven's going to throw up a poll here on the YouTube.
Wow.
To break the tie. You guys Gary Ross, and everybody else, break the tie.
You too, dirty dog.
Put Loveland in there. This is crap.
Again, I
The
know
chat's
math.
worth 2 votes.
I know the math is
We
hard
know who
for
voted
you.
for Colston.
Yeah, but tiebreakers are between 2 nominees that have the same amount of votes that are the most. And Loveland's 1 vote is less
Well, you
than
guys
2.
are wrong. Colston Loveland has been the rookie MVP. He's been getting all first-team reps. He shows up every day in flashes, in one-on-one blocking drills. Yes, I paid attention to him for 38 seconds. In one-on-one blocking drills, Colston Loveland stood up in those drills really well. He's had a big catch in preseason games. He's doing things with the first team. Kyle Monangai is splitting reps with first and second team, and he's been injured here the last few days, so that takes into account. Luther Burden didn't practice for the first week, and he's been great since then, but it's been with the second team. Colston Loveland, to me, out of these three, has shown the most game-changing ability from start to finish, from camp to preseason. I win. I rest my case. Let it be in the poll.
What about, Gary Ross in there with the no love for Ruben Hippolyte? Guys got a lot of snaps there, Hoge. What about Hippolyte?
I mean, he hasn't had that great of a camp. His OTAs were way better.
Yeah,
It's fallen down on the depth chart a little bit.
Have you
Go ahead.
No. I was just noticing standing next to Ruben yesterday. He is not big at all. Like, I think I'm taller than Ruben Hippolyte.
No, he's short.
He's a short
He's
Hippolyte.
short.
You guys should race, though.
He could still kill you.
Yeah, he might be a little bit faster than me. That's fair.
For me, it was Loveland or Monangai. I guess it came down to like expectations. Like, I expected the 10th overall pick to come into camp being like, whoa,
That's fair.
like that's a difference maker out there. Whoa, like Ben Johnson's wasting no time finding a role for him. Like, that's my favorite thing about Loveland's camp is just the staff's approach to, like, we're not wasting his time. We're not going to put him with the third team with Austin Reed. We're going to put him right in there with Caleb Williams and see what he can do against our best defensive players. And for the most part, he's shown that he can fit in. He's shown that he can be a productive part of this offense week one against the Minnesota Vikings. With Monangai, he was the last pick for the Bears in this draft class. 7th rounder. They obviously passed on other running backs earlier in the draft. We know the Travian Henderson story. We know their love for Ashton Genty. And here's Monangai coming in and looking like he belongs on this field with the starters in the offseason program and then in training camp, running hard, especially against the Dolphins. So for me, maybe it's just I've been more impressed with Monangai, given what my expectations were for him coming in.
Well, the chat's clearly on my side of things. And, Jahns, everybody but Guy Finley, but what does he know? Now, Jahns, that one thing, if you would have followed my analysis coming out of the draft, I told you that this was what Kyle Monangai was going to do. It's just maybe you didn't follow it initially, and
Not
that's
yet.
okay. But this isn't a surprise. He's not your average 7th-round pick. So I'm not surprised by what Kyle Monangai. And I know Carman isn't either. Carman's and Monangai.
I'm not, and shocking
You're
moment.
also taller than him, by the way.
I am taller than Kyle Monangai. We got to sit with him. That was amazing.
Not taller than Luther Burden, though, which is who I voted for.
And I voted for Burden, too, because he's just his flashes have been just like, whoa, this dude is ridiculously talented, and he's big, and he's interesting, and he's blocking in games, and he's getting wide open, and I'm just excited about what he's going to be. But Gregory, if I could redo my vote,
Yes.
I mean, if we're going to be fair about it, I mean, Loveland has been very, very, very active. So, and healthier than Luther.
I think all three of these guys have good cases. I'll just explain my reasoning. I debated between Loveland and Burden for the most part, and I gave Burden the nod because I think from the point that he finally got out there on the field, and then I was just impressed that it took him like 2 days then to buy in. Like, he got booted out the first day because he wasn't lining up the right way, and then I was really worried about it, and I was worried about how far behind he is, and I think that's a big part of it too. I was worried about how far behind he was, and he seems to have caught up a pretty decent amount. Now, can he handle the full offense in the same way that Olamide Zaccheaus can? No, and that's probably not going to happen at any point this season. But he's done enough to earn the trust of the coaching staff to be used, and I've said this multiple times. I don't know if he plays 5 snaps week 1, 15 snaps, 20 snaps. That dude might score a touchdown in the first game because he's that dangerous. And so I just thought overall the progress that he made, I agree with you that Loveland's probably been the most steady rookie, and I've been certainly just as impressed with him. But Luther Burden has come on to a level that he's going to have a role in this offense, and he's going to have to be somebody that defenses really account for when he comes in the game.
The knowing the offense part just made me vote for Loveland again because way too many clueless moments for Luther, too.
So I win.
Well,
Patrick in the chat, Patrick Norton said I wouldn't be a good lawyer, but how'd you like that? Right there, that negotiating.
Steven, what do we got for votes here?
Wow.
Luther Burden wins rookie MVP.
See, I feel like that's a little recency bias with the preseason game.
Maybe.
Bears fans would never do that. Very balanced.
But in fairness, Burden did play in that game, and Ungai didn't.
Yeah,
and Burden played really well.
And Burden's best plays in that preseason game weren't the catches he made. Like, I love the blocking.
Yeah.
I love the violence at the point of contact because that's what you need. That's what's expected of the Bears receivers under Antoine Randall L. He's going to emphasize it all season long. So to see that from him, the rookie, on the goal line, good stuff.
Braggs is still arguing with people.
Was
Too late.
Was Braggs actually right about Loveland rookie MVP? Yes or no? So we'll find out the
fine.
results to that.
We'll see if the overwhelming
See how
votes
many
for Burden
burner
flip
accounts
here.
Guy Finley makes here. in the next.
Yeah, never mind. You're good.
Well, now I got to go on YouTube and vote. All right. Last award, the Sandenbacher Gentry Undrafted Free Agent Award. And I will say this. It's been a kind of an underwhelming year for this. I don't think anybody really seized this award, which is really mostly a fan love award, I feel like, for the most part.
There's no Reddy Stewart this year. There's no player that's going to, like, be on the bubble tomorrow night that people are freaking out if he doesn't make the 53 and ends up on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Every year there's a guy, and this year there isn't.
No, there really isn't. The winner, though, well, I should give you the nominees, I guess, first. Unfortunately, he got hurt. I think he had a really strong case to win this. Running back Deion Hankins, who got the first carries in that game Sunday night against the Bills, but unfortunately landed on injured reserve with a quad injury. Jahns Walker, wide receiver, who made some plays in that first preseason game and got a shout-out from Ryan Poles in the broadcast the other night. J.P. Richardson, who I think was the favorite for this award when camp started. And then this is my nominee.
Of course it is.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about it because he maybe should be the winner. Long snapper Luke Elkin.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Well,
That'll move the needle.
yep. We should do a whole. I thought about putting him in the headline, but I don't know.
Luke Elkin.
Your winner is Jahns Walker.
That's the right call, even though I voted for JP because he did an interview with us. Jade's right. Jahns came on strong.
He's been, as far as like the second and third teams, like one of the Bears' best receivers since that physical practice that everyone's going to remember from the Ben Johnson era, whatever, that Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't know if I noticed him much more before that practice, but he had a great day.
He was all over the field making receptions and running tough with the ball too. So since then, I think he took over Richardson's spot just in terms of undrafted players you're really taking note of.
Yeah,
Flew by him.
There was a play when Carm was out where the second-team offense played first-team defense, and Tyson made one of the best throws at camp to the end zone, like 40 yards to Jahns Walker. It was beautiful, beautiful play. I just didn't want Carm to know about it at the time, but it was a great play.
He's
He's baffled. He's
I don't know where I just went, but it was away from you. I just like his history with Jahns because he came out of Texas A&M. He won the Aggie Award last year, which is a great teammate award. So it fits into the culture of what the Bears are trying to build here. And he made some nice plays in the end zone. He should have one other catch that he dropped in the end zone, but made the next one. I'm rooting for him to at least stick around on the practice squad.
What would your guys' play of camp? Do you have a
We're not done with this conversation yet.
Sorry. Sorry,
KQ
Dad.
doesn't think
Sorry, Dad.
I appreciate the effort though to get over.
Can you hold on to that question though? I think it's a good
coming
question.
right now. Yeah.
All right.
I know you really didn't want to hear the long.
Overtime's coming up.
You know you didn't want the long.
We'll hold
snapper.
on to that while the chat's still voting. 77% of the vote says Braggs was actually right about Loveland rookie MVP. Still voting though. Go
I
ahead.
bet if we then did another poll where it's Loveland versus Burden would still win somehow, even though
I
that
can
logic
keep
makes no
hammering
sense.
out the polls if you want.
Okay.
Is Greg an idiot? Yes or no?
Okay, look, I voted for Jahns Walker, don't worry. But the reason why I wanted to bring Luke Elkin into this conversation, we addressed this in our 53-man roster. Of all these guys, he might have the best chance to make the team. Quietly, Elkin has received 6 of the 15 snapping opportunities in these first 2 games. which I know nobody's tracking. Honestly, I wasn't even tracking until I went back and watched the film last night. And he's got the connection with Tory Taylor, who he snapped to in college at Iowa. And Scott Daly's snaps have been all fine. They haven't been perfect, though. And look, we put Scott Daly in the 53. I think that's probably what happens, but it would not shock me if there's a surprise here if they view Elkin as somebody who's like he's young, he's a rookie who's got long-term opportunity there. I would feel really bad for Scott Daly at the same time because he had the same thing happen to him last year in Detroit, where he was the guy and then a rookie came in and he lost his job. And he's a Downers Grove South guy. He went to Notre Dame for college, so he's a local guy too. So I know not many people care about that, but don't worry, Carm. I will handle this on tomorrow night's game. I'll track the long snaps for you so you don't have to worry about it.
I mean, when you started this segment, did you guys not want to party with Hoge last night? He's sitting there in bed just counting long snapper before finally shutting it down for the night. That's amazing.
Patrick Manley would be so proud of you right now.
We were doing a 53-man roster projection. I had to do it.
Hoge, did you know
anything to get Tory Taylor to punt the ball better? I'm all for.
Did you know that Tory Taylor set a Bears record last year for net punting? All you Tory Taylor haters out there to attack this guy? Bears record.
Attack is strong.
Well,
listen, the thing about Elkin that people don't realize is that as a sophomore in high school, he was the quarterback, and he went 9 for 25 for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. As a sophomore, Hoge.
You know, quarterbacks make good long snappers.
I mean,
it's actually a very similar motion. People don't realize
identifies great quarterback talent before everyone else. He did this with Bajent.
From QB to long snapper, it's a great pod. We could add that into our Bears coverage. With QB to long snapper, hosted by Luke Elkin alongside Greg Braggs. You'll give you your 7th show over there. You and Elkin, right. You in?
I sleep during special teams at camp. That's when I take a nap.
And then we'll hear you rant about it on a show when they lose on a special teams play.
4-year letterman in baseball and hockey, Luke Elkin.
This isn't even Karmapedia. This is the Iowa Hawkeyes website.
I'm on the website,
I'm surprised you're not blocked from that website.
Named to the hockey first-team All-State tournament as a sophomore. Luke Elkin. Okay. I feel like I'm Kevin Fishbane right now.
I'll entertain your question, Braggs. What was it again? The best play of camp?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you guys what you thought the best play of camp for you.
I'm dying.
You okay?
Is this like last year where you were sick for like 4 months?
You okay, Carm?
I think it's going to be like a 3-monther, this thing. This is a 3-monther. I can already feel it.
You all right? You
can't get rid of it.
What's wrong? You got to go potty?
No, Okay. What were you talking about? Just get me out of here before I
Adam Hoge, your play of training camp. Does one stand out to you?
Play of training camp.
No one has a play of training camp.
I've got one.
So yours is that Bajent bomb to Walker?
No.
What's your play of training camp?
My play of training camp was when Roma Dunze mossed Kyler Gordon in one-on-ones backside of the end zone. I just thought watching those two guys battle.
I'll never forget it.
Shut up, Carm. But just seeing Rome's ability to make all sorts of different types of catches, but that play in particular, 50-50 ball that I don't think he got enough opportunities to showcase that talent of his last year. To me, if Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze can continue to find that connection in the end zone, I think Rome Odunze is going to have a big year in the red zone. That was my play.
I like the
really good.
Just shut up.
I will go with, and it was the Dolphins practice when Colson Loveland had that nice catch and run and then hyped up the crowd in the corner. Other nomination would be OZ last week, just running away from all the Bills.
Yeah,
that one's up there.
Not in the game, in practice. It happened in the game too, but in practice he did it.
Yeah,
and all they had to do was touch him. They didn't have to tackle him.
Oh, that was a legit runaway.
Yes, yeah. No one touched him. I'd probably go with that play because it's been an up and down camp for the first team offense. There hasn't been a lot of explosive plays where you're seeing a bunch of celebrations in the end zone. So that's why Loveland stands out. That's why Zaccheaus stands out because that happened during joint practices where you had fans to get going.
I'll throw you another one while Carm tries to
No,
figure
I got
out
one.
his
I got
answer.
it. I got Bajent to J.P. Richardson, the one-handed catch on the chest.
Oh,
bump.
I see it.
That was a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that's
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Real quick, we got to remind you to become a diehard and hit overtime for those of you watching on the fast channels. We will keep this thing rolling on YouTube for a little bit longer as we hit overtime, but sign up to become a diehard right now. $36 training camp deal still going on, even though camp's basically over, and we have that 53-man projection up for you, the roster projection, right now. It went up this morning, so you can read that.
My other play was an incomplete pass by Caleb Williams where he threw it up the seam to Cole Kmet, and it was with conviction. It was a perfect throw, but Kevin Byard had better defense on it. And that's something you always talk about, good offense versus good defense. Like that was one of those, I think, represented that, where both sides of the ball can kind of tip the cap there.
Another good one was the sidearm throw where he kind of like peeked around the lineman.
I was thinking of that one.
And I forget who it was even threw that ball to.
That was OZ too.
But that was a
Or
nice.
Josie.
Yeah.
I'm 78% certain it was OZ.
And then Odunze had that deep catch where he like basically just was running and pretended the ball wasn't coming until it just dropped right in his arms.
Mm-hmm.
That was that. And
That
was,
was a big highlight for. That was against the first string defense, too,
yeah.
right?
It was Caleb threw the ball. It was a
Yeah.
good ball and really good receiving. There's not many receivers that can do what he did on that play. We always talk about his late hands, where he gets his hands up late, so it's not you're basically trying to fool the corner that the ball's not coming, and then all of a sudden you catch it. That one was no hands. It was just there's the ball. It landed in my hands.
And Wright was very complimentary of Roma Dunze's play on that after the way he set him up.
Because it was good coverage. It wasn't bad coverage. It was just a really good play by the receiver. So some good highlights to talk about there.
One time I was walking from one side of the field to the other, and Jonathan Kim kicked like a 40-yard field goal, and it was like really way high up, and it hit the top of the net, and the dude underneath it made a great catch that came down. So whoever that was, you're on the list.
That guy.
It was a great grab. Did not allow the ball to touch the earth. Protected the football. It was beautiful.
Who was the Bears beat writer MVP of training camp?
Carm broke the Bajent news. So.
Damn right.
Carm
Right
broke the
Right
Bajent
there.
news.
Thank you.
Carm broke the Bajent news. Hogan Jahns, you guys broke the starters will play.
Not play.
No,
Starters will not play.
will not play. Was that what it was? That's
That was
right.
huge.
Thanks for remembering it. Yeah.
You're welcome. I knew it was
Exclusive
something
from Ben. You beat you had your exclusive before Kay Adams had her exclusive. That
there. You
wins.
knew before the players did. So
Yeah.
Braggs bought me a cheeseburger. That was nice.
I bought you a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Wait, from one of the trucks?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it
Really
good?
good
yeah,
too.
it was really good.
Well,
How would you rank the trucks? Give us like your top three.
I typically don't eat that early in the morning. I wait to stuff my face at night with Taco Bell, so I save all my carbs for later. So I didn't really get to.
You didn't visit the trucks?
partake,
I didn't
no.
sample a truck. I should
never
do
have.
that more.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
well, who are? Do we remember the name of who hooked us up with the burger?
Yeah, but no, I would have shouted them out properly if
Well, I
I did.
apologize that we didn't, but that was delicious. That was amazing.
I have their card in my wallet, but it's not.
Oh, there
me.
you go. We'll
You
make
gonna be able to find it in that wallet? You ever seen this guy's wallet?
bust it out.
There's
Got a-
500
got a
cards in
Costanza
it.
wallet.
You got it on you?
No, it's over
in
there.
there.
It's-
Weighs
The
too
meeting
much.
room?
He has to leave it in
It's
his
like a
backpack.
brick because then I don't. He's like, get this like skinny one. I'll lose that. So I have a big one, so I
Brick
don't
by
lose
brick,
it.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, speaking of brick by brick, tonight, new episode, Lance Briggs, Jerry Azuma,
Yep.
7 o'clock. Don't miss it. Keep it rolling here with multiple shows every day. Tomorrow, we'll also have 2 shows because we got pregame and postgame tomorrow. We'll have a 6 o'clock pregame for you, postgame right afterwards, so don't go anywhere. We'll have all that coverage for you, last preseason game. And we also have our golf outing tomorrow.
Let's go.
You guys so excited.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. I'm ready.
You got your warm-up round in last week.
You gonna dress like an idiot again,
Yep.
like the last one?
Sure am. I actually
Please don't. That was ridiculous.
No, Kurt Gullidge outfitted me. So look at I'm wearing the same orange socks that I wore then today. But look at that shirt. That's my
A lot
US.
of colors
Steven
going
pulled
there.
that up way too fast.
I think I look good. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
No. That shirt should only be worn at the U.S. Open, where you can wear that 3 days in a row next week, all you want. But that will not appear at Cog Hill tomorrow. They won't let you in.
I'm going for 4 days, although I might only go for 3 days because there's big news coming up on Sunday.
Okay.
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, let's get super chats and we'll get the hell out of here. Quackinator 100, $5. Huge show. Let's effing go. Love watching all four of you in studio together. Will Jahns be showing up in studio more often during the season?
Studio tailgates? Like, how much do you guys want?
Everything.
Everything.
We need it all.
Need all of it. Yeah.
All right. I'll be here. I'll be here a couple times. I promise you. And maybe, just maybe, that first tailgate as well. I'm on record, yes.
All right.
I actually got an idea for week 3 against the Cowboys. We're going to talk in our meeting afterwards.
Flus renewal?
Yeah, Flus is coming by the tailgate.
Get the bees out? It'll be amazing.
Garden hose to get there might be bees at that. It's bee season. Garden hose are $5. Good to see Jahns in here. Never thought I'd see the day. Carm, I hope camp, and a bag of nuts. Was amazing.
Settle down, hoser. It was amazing.
Sorry,
There should be a bag of nuts. That should be.
That's the best nickname. I can't believe we never come up with that one.
We
yet.
should have that at happy hour. Coming up to family camp next year, I'll be there.
Braggs and Hoge keep doing Braggs and Hoge things. Bear down.
That's right.
Thank you, Garden Hoser.
You're welcome. Sorry about Carm.
Brawl sack, $10. Carm's takes are hot, but nothing compares to the heat of the spicy potato taco, exclusively at Taco Bell. Hashtag I'm trying, Braggs, but out of ideas.
Wait, is that really a thing?
Me and Brawlsack are trying to work on a sponsorship for Taco Bell with CHGO, and he's doing a great job. I want you to continue this bit. It's a good one.
Is that how he presents it to Taco Bell? Hi, I'm Brawlsack.
They'll definitely.
Would you please sponsor us?
Yeah, I think they'd go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Bear with me, $10. Newly minted diehard. Welcome in, bear with me. Got the shirt and hat from that Adam and Adam show.
Let's go.
Heading up there for the Aaron Rodgers retirement party, AARP.
That's good.
Hoping y'all are tailgating, bringing a sacrificial Steeler fan. We are tailgating. You can buy those tickets now, right, Greg?
Yep, you can get
for
tailgates
all
for
of them, right?
every single home game, allchgo.com/events. The first one, Monday night, September 8th, start at 2 or 3 o'clock. It'll say it on the website, but regardless, it is going to be a madhouse on the corner of Wabash and Cermak. Every year, week 1 is absolutely crazy there at the tailgate. 1,000 Bears fans there at least, it feels like, and promise if you come, whether you're going to the game or not, you're going to have a great time. So come on out.
2:30 to 6:30.
2:30, thank you. 2:30 start. So come on out, man. It's going
Greg
to be
will be there at 5
a.m.
a.m., though.
I will be there at 5 a.m. You're absolutely right.
All right. 2 more from Bear With Me. When is the CHGO Beast of Burden t-shirt coming out?
Oh, I love that reference.
That's good.
Rolling Stones.
It's good.
Great song.
Yeah, we might have to check, though, with the lawyers on the Rolling Stones part of that. That might be a problem.
All I know is that I did a great song for Luther Burden, 2 Beast of Burden, on Carm Balcony, and it was really good.
Did you sing it at Camp Namaga Nuts?
No, but we did sing some great songs at camp, and including Mountain Dew and The Drunken Sailor Man and all these songs that you can all sing if you want to come up next year.
Okay.
It'd be great.
Motor Music, Michael.
I just can't.
What can't you?
The idea of you singing camp songs and like just all of it, like you're a ridiculous human being, but then to think about you in that environment doing that just adds to it. Then I also think about like the amount of mushrooms you do. Like
mushrooms. We don't do mushrooms anymore, Gregory.
Okay.
Anymore.
University of Iowa. Yeah.
Motor Music Michael says, just renewed my diehard, not sure what shirt to add to my All-City collection. Well, you better figure it out. There's a lot of good ones.
Speaking
of that,
You're the man.
I think we got some new Hoge Jahns ones coming soon, right?
I think so. And I believe I got a notification that my shipment finally has arrived at my house. So we'll have to open up those Hoge Jahns hats and shirts.
And shout out Kevin Fishbane with the Breaking In pod. I watched it with you two on it.
Oh, you watched
I'm
it?
halfway through it. It's very good though.
Thank
Just
you.
enjoy listening to it.
Okay, everybody should subscribe to that podcast, Breaking In. It's really just I don't know. It's a good series, learning about all these people in the media. Kevin's really good with it.
Yeah, he's
So
a
go
good
check
host.
it out.
Good host. Solid.
Crystal, $5. Jahns, you get your official welcome to CHGO Super for me since you aren't in studio. Love the show today, guys. Bear down.
Thanks, Crystal. It's good to be here and good to meet you at training camp the other day in the field 2. Who was with me? You were with me?
Where?
When Crystal introduced herself to me.
Yeah.
Hoge was with me.
I think I was maybe
Okay.
with you. Yeah. If you don't come to the tailgate, she'll hunt you down, though, and make sure you get there. Sorry. Brags.
I'll be there.
Crystal's focused on next Monday when we play a doubleheader to advance to the finals one more time. Crystal, stay focused.
Semifinals?
Quarters and semis next
You
Monday.
need me to play third base?
Yeah, I do.
Too bad.
It's all right.
This next one.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Go ahead.
Brags in the stands, $2 super chat in his own show where he can talk for free. Says Guy Finley does not know anything.
Way to go,
Boom.
Greg. That's money well spent.
Thank
And
you.
Zach and Izek, $5. Fun for the Brags and Carman new podcast to try and replicate the goated Hoge Jahns.
Thank you, Zach.
That's right. We're coming for you. So we got the votes in, finally tallied. Was Braggs actually right about Loveland Rookie MVP? 67% of the chat says yes. So with Carm moving to across the picket line to me with the vote, chat with that percentage of the vote, Steven being an idiot, that means I win.
Oh, this is the Colson Loveland thing still?
Yeah.
Thanks.
We're still doing that.
Congratulations, Gregory.
Yep, still doing that. All right, we are out of here. There's some breaking Hawks news I saw. Frank Nazar signed a contract extension. So
He did?
Yeah,
All right.
7 years.
7 years.
I'm reading this on at @CHGO_Black. Why don't you break that story, Carm?
Why don't we add that into the categories of we could have put Nazar in there today as in the never knew that Nazar was going to be there, but now Nazar's there. There we
Yeah.
go, Nazar.
So that show's at 2, I assume, coming up, Steven? 2 o'clock, CHGO Blackhawks, so don't go anywhere. We'll have you covered, as we always do with all our teams here in Chicago. Appreciate each and every one of you being here, especially Jahns for finding the studio. So give the show a like just for that. Hit subscribe if you haven't been here before. We are back tomorrow with pregame at 6 p.m. Bears, Chiefs. Starters are going to play. Let's get excited about it. And after the game, post-game, of course, as well. So lock in. We'll get those links up early for you, too, so
They're
they're already up. Look at that. Go find the links, hit the notification button, then you'll know when we go live, which is especially important post-game because that's obviously a fluid time. We'll talk to you tomorrow. If you're coming out to the golf outing at Cog Hill tomorrow, we see you there. Cannot wait. The rest of you, we'll talk to you at 6 p.m. on the pregame show. See you then.
See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.